Hello again to all the Saiyans around the world. I'm Alejandro, the voice of Shallot in Dragon Ball Legends, and I'm here with...
I'm Toshi from Bandai Namco Entertainment, and I'm one of the co-producers of Dragon Ball Legends.
Since this is our third tips and tricks video, let's talk about going from rank 20, battle rank 20, to battle rank 30.
Yep, alright, definitely. We're going to talk about that. So, in the previous episodes, we talked about how, in the beginning, you don't really have to worry too much about party formation or what characters to bring. Maybe focus on characters that you personally like, or just simply like to play with.
Yeah, like Krillin.
Uh-huh.
And Yamcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on. So, today, for brackets between 20 and 30, we're gonna have to focus on how to get your power levels up and how to maybe make the best possible party with the characters that you have in your hands.
Okay, so how would we go from getting that necessary power level that we need?
So, okay, it should show up on screen. Let's see, there we go. All right, increasing power levels is one of the most essential ways, or the essential signs that you're getting stronger. It's numerical value that just simply shows how powerful your characters are. And it also shows the base total, not total, but there's a calculation behind it, your team's power level. So, simple ways to power up your characters is play through the story and level up your characters. Right now, the maximum possible level is 2,000.
That's a lot.
And that is a lot. We know. Another way is to train them. You have the training items where you can send characters to certain training places and level them up after a while.
Yeah, beef them up.
So, yeah, and also another thing to do is gathering rising souls and powering up the boost panels for every character.
Yeah, I have a lot of trouble with that. Like, I know how to boost, and I've dabbled here with a few characters 100%ing a certain part of them, but not every single boost board.
Oh, that might be the reason why you're not so good.
Well, among other things, but yes.
Well, I mean, it is a great objective to have to fully boost your character. Max out all the boards on your character, and then bring them out to PvP. It's what all the high tier players are doing, so that should be one of your prime objectives.
Okay.
Of course, you can get those rising souls by playing the story, participating in events, finishing missions, and of course, again, participating in missions, player versus player mode will grant you job requests that give you a lot of rising souls and zennies.
So pretty much just play the game and every aspect of the game, and it'll just come full circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd like to think just experiencing every part of it gives you the full benefit.
Yeah.
So another way of boosting your power level is by equipping equipments. that was an obvious one as to what you do with it. So earlier I told you about how PvP rewards you with equipments and multiple other game modes as well. The content of what you can get depends on the event that you participate in. So again, you should look out for it. But each of them will definitely power up your character greatly. Like some of them might be not so good in terms of strike defense. Well, if you wear specific equipment, you might be able to cover that weakness of that character.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really can make or break it, so it ends up being important, especially in the later ranks.
And it also helps out for players who want to use certain characters just because they like it. They love the character.
Like Krillin.
Yes, exactly. And they might find that Krillin maybe lacks in a certain aspect on the status. Then you use a specific equipment, wear it, and cover that weakness. And finally, building a party focused around Z abilities.
Okay.
Do you know what Z abilities are?
I have a feeling.
It's vague understanding?
Right. Like a vague understanding. Like based on the stars and limit breaking, how many... each character has a specific ability that can help out the entire group.
Yes, exactly. So when you form a party of 6, each character's Z ability applies to all your characters. It doesn't matter if you choose them in battle or if you don't choose them in battle. If they're part of the party, geez, I keep repeating the same words. If you're part of the party, the Z ability is activated. So long as the Z ability targets the proper characters. With the specifics in terms of equipments, you see on the screen right here, this is the actual game screen, along with the presentation, but equipments have borders around them. You might see some of them with gold borders or silver or bronze. That signifies the rarity of the equipment and also how much it can sell for.
Right. Does it mean that gold is better than silver or bronze, like their ability's sake?
Actually, in terms of the abilities that you can get from equipments, that's not always the case.
Okay.
Some silvers are better than some gold, and some bronze are better than some silvers.
Okay.
Bronze is not the best, so yes, gold might be superior to bronze in comparison, but there are a lot of good silver equipments that you definitely want to pick up.
Okay.
And also, you see those jewels that are on the bottom of the equipment? Yeah, those signify whether you upgraded the equipment or not. So if you fully upgrade it, it will give you 3 unique perks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Depending
useful
on the equipments. And normally by default, when you upgrade it, it glows in green. But when it glows in yellow, it means that the specific perk that you rolled there has a high upgrade number.
Oh, okay.
So it's what some people might call a god roll in terms of perks, where the random number that it gives is very close, or maybe the maximum possible.
Wow. Okay.
So when you're gathering a lot of equipments and upgrading them, this is a really nice visual tell as to whether you should keep that equipment or not.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know about the little gold.
Yeah, the gold is actually really, it stands out when you start gathering all those equipments. So you should definitely look out for those. Okay. I see a couple players just show off whenever they get an equipment with 3 full gold slots. Personally, I've never found one, unfortunately, but
maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Another important aspect that I talked about earlier is the Z abilities. So, as I said earlier, Z abilities are a very important feature of the game. Actually, I'll connect it right now to my screen. This is my actual account. This actually kind of shows when we recorded this, huh?
Yeah.
So, this is the party that I used earlier when I fought with my coworker.
You sure did.
So, if you look at the party formation, maybe you look at each of these characters, like say, Final Form Cooler. You go to the details, you see a Z ability right here.
Right.
This applies to everybody in the party, so long as the Z ability specifies the tag correctly.
Right.
So it says Lineage of Evil right here, meaning it targets characters like maybe, I wouldn't say base form, but first the default Cooler, or Frieza.
Right.
Chilled.
Okay.
Whom I don't have, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Oh, well, what do you know? Well, these Z abilities apply on every character so long as the tag is correct.
Right.
Right now, this party name, don't bother looking at the party name. I like to name them silly names.
It's like a blast.
These characters are all from the movie series.
Oh, yes.
They have the movie tag on them, and most of them power up movies. And if you look carefully on top of each character's head, you see those green boxes?
Yeah.
Those actually signify how many Z abilities are applied on them.
Oh, what?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Now you know. So, the more green boxes you see on a character, the more Z abilities he's receiving. In fact, if you push the details right here on the screen, you can see the Z abilities that he's receiving from whom.
Okay, that's crazy.
You can change characters, and it's still the same. These are the Z abilities that he receives.
That's so cool.
Also shows the unique abilities that they have.
Yeah.
And the equipments.
Oh, and the equipments? Okay, that's actually really good to know.
So when you're kind of confused as to whether he's being buffed or not by the Z abilities, first off, look at the green boxes. It's a nice show as to whether he's being targeted or not. And then, if you still don't know specifically whether he's being boosted or not, look into the details, and you can tell what power-ups he's receiving.
That's good to know. Wow, that's a lot.
This is a very nice way of making a party.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, finally, look at the power level right here next to the scouter. This is my power level. Right now, I tried really hard to raise it, so it's slightly high. But between battle ranks 20 and 30, you might want to aim for maybe around 800,000.
Okay, yeah, that seems more obtainable than 1,000,000.
900. Well, million's not that difficult once you level up your characters to 2,000.
Right. Yeah, then it all like just stacks up. Also, you have a bonus of 1,852.
Yep. Actually, we'll talk about that later, but that is another big part about making characters, just buffing them up. All right. So, what you want to remember is these Z abilities apply to everybody.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about whether you have to bring them into actual battle.
Yeah.
As long as they're in the party.
Yeah, that was something I always had. I always thought when I was first starting out, it's like, oh, well, this ability is not going to work if I don't use them in a fight.
No, that's actually why a lot of the extreme characters are so viable right now.
Right.
A lot of their Z abilities cover so much, and their tags are unique. And also the amount of buff that they give actually are higher than certain sparking characters.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really good to know.
So you guys should, a lot of you should really look through the characters, especially you. Apparently you don't look at the details.
Look, I just want to collect them all and then play as Krillin.
If you say so. Yeah, should definitely look at them if you're thinking about PvP.
Yeah,